Hey Hearties, I'm Casey.
And I'm Cammie. Welcome to the Hearties Hotline,
your connection to Hope Valley.
We want to give a shout out to our friends at Edify Films, where you can get fabulous When Calls the Heart merchandise, like my hat.
And you can also get a fun When Calls the Heart game from our friends at the Bundle Game. Be sure to use discount code Hearties Hotline for 10% off.
We've got a fabulous episode for you today, full of laughter, tears, and heart.
So take a walk with us to Hope Valley and let's dive in. Welcome back, Hearties! It has been such a fun week talking to our new friends, Pascal and Deidre and Loretta, and now we have a new friend to introduce you to. You may know her on Twitter and the Instagrams because she is very involved and she's such a big supporter of the Hearties and our podcast. Welcome, Kristen!
Hey guys, thank you so much.
Hi, HeartieKristen.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here.
We're so excited that you're here with us and we get to officially meet and now we're all friends.
Yay!
Well, we have a ton to talk about, but first, let's get to know you. Kristen, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and how you became a Heartie?
Yes. So I'm from Knoxville, Tennessee. And I'm married to my husband, Josh. We've been married for almost 7 years. And I'm very blessed to be able to be a stay-at-home mom to our 5-year-old son. So my days are full of Legos and Hot Wheels cars and Disney movies.
I hear that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And I discovered When Calls the Heart back in 2017. We had just cut cable. And so I was searching on Netflix for something to watch, came across the show, and I was like, I remember seeing previews to this on the Hallmark Channel, so this has to be good, right? And the first 3 seasons were on, so I binged them. I was hooked from the beginning. Season 4 was airing as I was watching that, so I had my parents record it. And so I started watching the recordings, and then season 5 started. And I told my parents, you guys have to watch this with me. And so from season 5 until now, every Sunday night, me and my husband go with my parents and we watch it all together. So I brought in some Hearties with me. We're all a big Heartie family.
That is so fun.
Yes, yeah.
Oh,
Does Josh watch with you?
He does, yes.
Whoa.
And what's good about him is he has a really great memory. And so he can just watch like 1 or 2 episodes and I'll go back and, like I do the rewatch, with you guys each week. And he's like, oh, this is the episode where blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, how do you remember that? I don't even remember that. And so he keeps up. Oh, yeah.
Wow. You lucky duck.
I know. And he will watch Hallmark movies with me too. So, yeah.
Wow. He is the Hallmark husband of the year right now.
Yeah.
He's really great. Yeah.
Josh, we present to you the Hallmark Husband of the Year award.
Oh,
You're
man.
welcome.
He'll accept it. Definitely. It'll be good for his ego.
Too fun. And what a great tradition to have with your family.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So special.
Yes.
All right. So burning questions before we get into our hopes, dreams, and predictions of season 8 of When Calls to the Heart. Are you Team Nathan or Team Lucas? Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun. I am Team Lucas.
Woo! All right. So tell us why. Convince the audience why you are Team Lucas.
Well, to be honest, it took me a while to get there because, he was a little mysterious in the beginning,
Little fishy.
Little fishy, yes. And so, honestly, I didn't want another Mountie storyline, I just thought, okay, we've done that and look what happened there. And I honestly, season 7 just kind of sealed it for me. He's straightforward with his feelings about Elizabeth. He's not shy. He really tries to romance her and his pursuit of her. I really like that. And so that just kind of sealed it for me.
Okay.
Well said.
So is your husband Team Nathan or Team Lucas?
Oh, he's Team Lucas all the way.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh.
And I think
Okay.
it's because he kind of sees himself in Lucas because
I was gonna ask.
Josh
is Josh
is a
more
romantic.
Nathan?
He's a romantic.
Oh.
So, their little dinners, their candlelit dinners and stuff like that stuff that he did when we were dating and still does now. Like I just got flowers for Valentine's Day, like I think that's why he's Team Lucas. He sees himself in Lucas a little bit.
Can we get a sample of his bone marrow or something and inject it into our husbands? Because that would be really nice.
Oh.
Yeah, my
I don't
husband
think it works that way though.
My husband is Team Lucas just to spite me. So that's just fine, He'll text me gifs of Lucas all day. I'll text him gifs of Nathan all day. It's just a whole fun little banter.
My husband, he'll be on the computer and he'll go, it should be Lucas, but it's going to be Nathan.
Yeah.
Wow. For somebody who doesn't even like the show, that's a big opinion.
Well, super, super fun. Well, when Sunday starts, we are going to agree to be Team Hope Valley.
Yes.
Because
that's right.
Hope Valley. There's more to Hope Valley than the triangle. We love all these characters and we just want what's best for Elizabeth. And with that being said, let's dive into Hope Valley. So we have had quite a few promotional videos come out.
Mm-hmm.
Holy moly.
And we have some information on episodes 1 through 6, thanks to our friends at Google, who may or may not have taken them down. But we also have friends on the interwebs, like shout out to Candy Hardy, who takes the screenshots and posts them on her Instagram. And same with Star Watch Byline, the mysterious folks over there who
thank you to both of you.
Yes, thank you. So, what are y'all's initial thoughts on the previews and what are you most excited about?
I want to see that scene where she takes off the ring.
Yeah.
That is going to be an incredibly dramatic, incredibly powerful scene. And actually one of my predictions / dreams is, are we going to get archive footage? Are we going to get memories of Jack while she's making that choice to take off the ring?
Like the montages?
Like the montages! I would tell Kristen that we needed to warn her, but she's listened to us enough and she knows. we gush just a little,
Uno poco. But that is going to be a really
that's going to be a tearjerker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whew. Because that's a big deal. That's a big deal when a widow makes the choice to take off the ring, because unless you're a black widow, you're not in a hurry to do it, So,
right.
Oh man, that's going to be big.
Yeah, definitely. Kristen, what about you?
I think I'm mostly excited about Leah and Rosemary. I really want to know about their future as far as being parents. Mm-hmm. I also am very excited to see Susanna and her daughter come back to town and kind of see that dynamic there. I think one of the summaries said that, Rosemary and Leah are going to have to adjust to having family in town. So I'm wondering, if that's because it's going to be like a culture shock coming from, big city to Hope Valley, or maybe they're, a little bit more spoiled. Maybe the niece is going to be a troublemaker. I don't know. It's going to be really exciting to see, though.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, and did you see on the sneak peek that Lee and Rosemary had these
They eyed each other.
and then she and then she looked at them and they both went,
Yes. Yes.
I laughed so hard when I watched that. when I watched that, I was like, oh no, what's she gonna do?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I am most excited. The scene I'm most excited about is seeing the scene where Nathan is playing with little Jack. I don't know why. I think it might be because I'm a mom and I love kids, obviously. And little Jack, ooh, so cute. But there's just something about like a dude and a child and that like connection, whether it's like my husband and my nieces and nephews and like that uncle relationship. And I also Nathan and Allie, I'm really excited to see those two together again. But I don't know, there's just something about it that just makes me like all warm and fuzzy inside. And that clip's probably literally going to be like 0.7 seconds. That's
You never know. You never know.
I know. And notice that in any of the promos or sneak peeks or any of that, you see Nathan standing up from playing with little Jack. Like, yeah, they're sneaky. They're not going to show it on purpose. They want to make us sweat.
Oh, yeah.
For sure. Alrighty. I'm going to read the summaries that Google provided for us. Now, I'm going to disclaim today. Yeah. I'm not sure how accurate they are. So far, they've been accurate 2 out of 6, the first 2 episodes. So we'll see. If these are completely wrong, blame Google. Don't blame us. All right. Sunday's episode. Elizabeth tries to come to terms with how she feels about Nathan and Lucas. A visitor causes trouble for Nathan. Faith returns from medical school. Jessie and Clara have issues. Fiona starts an exciting venture. Episode 2 is, and that one's called Open Season. The next one is called Honestly, Elizabeth.
Oh boy.
Oh yeah.
The sudden arrival of Lucas's mom makes Elizabeth more than a little nervous. Lee injures his back. A newcomer's arrival causes Rosemary to reflect on what she wants in life. Episode number 3 is From Ashes. A geyser erupts at the oil rig and everyone in Hope Valley drops everything to help. Nathan is summoned for an inquiry by a Mountie from his past, and Jessie takes a liking to driving Lee's motorcycle.
The motorcycle return!
It's back!
Finally.
The return of the motorcycle.
Episode 4, Welcome to Hope Valley. The inquiry begins and Nathan starts to question his own actions. Meanwhile, a new family, the Canfields, buy Gowan's cabin and Elizabeth welcomes them to Hope Valley. Lee's sister and niece arrive in Hope Valley. Episode 5 is What the Heart Wants. It's graduation day at the Jack Thornton schoolhouse. Rosemary and Lee adjust to having family in town. A letter from Dottie sends all the Coulters reeling. Clara learns Jessie made a big mistake. And then episode 6, so we're at the halfway mark because there are 12 episodes this season.
Right.
Episode 6 is No Regrets. Elizabeth wonders if she is truly ready to let love in again. Rosemary wonders what her purpose is. Clara and Jessie sort through their issues. Carson receives an amazing opportunity. And a stranger named Christopher comes to town.
So the Canfields aren't even coming in until episode 4. Wow.
Yeah.
That surprises me. I thought it would have been 4 is still, I guess, pretty close to the beginning, but I mean, that's right before the halfway mark. That's wow. I thought it would have been sooner.
You know what? I wonder if Viv Leacock's character comes first and then the rest of the family come, because remember we saw in the preview with Robert with the runaway horse.
Yes. And they passed Jessie and Mr. Canfield,
and Mr. Canfield. That's a good point. But of course, that could have been from episode 4.
This is true. This is true. Oh, wait, but the Crown Media press picture show in episode 2 Elizabeth leading Robert with the horse.
intrigue,
Yes.
mystery.
Let's talk about the Canfields really quickly. What are you guys looking forward to meeting this new family?
Well, I think it's interesting that they wrote that Joseph was a former pastor. So I'm wondering if that's going to come into play somehow. And also the storyline, of course, of Angela being blind and her mom being overprotective of her. And I think it's going to be a challenge for Elizabeth to try to teach her, in a new way with this overprotective mom, of course, totally like understand that. But, Elizabeth doesn't run away from a challenge. I don't think she's going to shy away from this. I think she's going to take it head on and really impress Minnie with her skills.
Mm-hmm. I had forgotten about the pastor thing. I don't even know if I knew that.
I think I read
I'm trying to remember if I'd heard about it either. I don't remember hearing that. So we could finally have a pastor again.
But I also heard that he's going to run, I think, the gas station or like something like that. I feel like I've heard that, so I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Are there enough vehicles?
Right? Yeah.
Right now we have 2.
Yeah, that one I did remember about. I remember the gas station thing. I don't remember the pastor, but that would be really interesting, and it would make sense because if there are only 2 vehicles in town, he's going to need another occupation.
Yes,
that's very true.
Okay.
Either that or charge a fortune for the gas, which will not fly.
Yeah, it's true.
Huh. I want to see if there's going to be any friction with the family coming into town. I want to see if there's anything besides the blindness that they're going to have to deal with. Are they going to have trouble welcoming in newcomers? They don't, Hope Valley does not seem like the community that would have trouble welcoming the Canfields, but is there going to be any friction letting a new family into the fold? And is there, I remember watching on the ET interview that Elizabeth gets pouty. Aaron said that Elizabeth gets pouty. And then I saw in the sneak peek that's exactly what she did. Minnie said, I don't think that it would be best for her to be taught here. And Elizabeth literally does stick out her lip. I was like, whoa, okay, Aaron won that kitten.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we all know that Elizabeth is going to do her magic and, get that Thatcher Thornton charm on and win Minnie over. It's just a matter of how.
Yes.
Well, and the piano, Angela playing the piano. I mean, that's just incredible. Anytime I see somebody who is either hearing impaired or blind playing the piano, I think it's remarkable.
Yeah.
Maybe that's how she's going to do it, because can't Elizabeth play the piano? Doesn't she play piano
a little bit?
Charles in season 2. So maybe that's how she's going to connect with her. You know?
And remember that's how she convinced Timmy to give the bicycle a try. When by playing the piano with him. So that's a point. That's a good point. It could be through music that Elizabeth finally melts the heart of Minnie Canfield.
Good thoughts. Let's move on to the newest couple in town. Flo-yo! Oh my goodness. So in Sunday night's preview, Pascal mentioned that she was really excited about the Florence and Ned Yost spark.
Romance blossoming. And speaking of blossoms, he brought her flowers. So cute.
Yes.
And their hands touched.
Seen that look of enchantment on Ned's face since the moving picture.
Oh, I know.
Well, and remember when we were talking to Loretta, she talked about how she and Hrothgar sit in the makeup room or in their trailers and just talk backstory and what happens in between their scenes together. So that's going to make watching that whole thing even more enjoyable. So yeah.
Kristen, what do you think?
I'm excited. I guess I never really paid too much attention to their spark before. And so now I'm just like, oh, of course. But I am worried a little about Molly. Is Molly going to be jealous because here's Florence off with, her new man? Is Molly going to be, lonely without her Flomo action going on?
That's true.
Unless she gets her Moby action on.
Yes. But before we go to Molly and Bill, because that's coming up really quick.
Yeah.
It makes me want to go back and rewatch seasons 1 through 7 to pick out all the little times that Flo-Yo are together, because I mean, to me, they always seem like very friendly. And then I did notice, I think it was season 6 and 7, where they did start having more times together, or they'd have like these looks across the mercantile when Florence was on the phone, or just like little tiny things that it's not a shocker to me that they're being paired up, Well,
and in the season 6 finale, at the dance, when they had Ladies' Choice, I mean, with her very prim and proper Ned, I think that was the first overt. I think that was the first overt sign. And so from then on, I mean, I will be the first to admit I wasn't exactly paying attention to them either.
No.
But that was the first big overt sign. And from then on, I just said, oh, yeah, yeah, somewhere that's going to happen. So I think it is so cool. I think it's so cool because we've been saying for years that the widows need some love. The widows need love too.
Yes, for sure. Now I'm trying to think back to one of the previous dances. It was probably season 2 or 3. No, it had to have been season 3, because Elizabeth puts on a dance to teach her students manners.
Yes.
And Emily gives the macaroni necklace, or one of the girls.
Kindness week.
Yes.
Yep.
Now, did Florence and Yost dance then together too?
I don't remember.
I don't remember either.
Kristen, we need your husband on this podcast.
I know.
Apparently he would remember.
He would be like, yes, and she was wearing this, and he was wearing this, and she said this.
Yeah, we'll have to go back and watch it. We'll put a side note later on. But yeah, Hearties, if you guys remember, let us know.
I'm losing my crown as the queen of detail. Shame on me.
Shame. All right, let's go to Molly and Bill.
Yeah.
Now, if you listen to our interview with Johanna Newmarch, she says that she and Jack Wagner have a lot of scenes together and they just play. So I think that we'll see the really sweet and the really just romantic, like, oh gosh, with Flo-Yo. But I think we're going to see the spice and the sassiness with Bill and Molly.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
We're gonna see the back and forth witty banter going on with Molly and Bill. Absolutely.
Oh yeah. I agree. I think it was Jack Wagner that said something about it being like a cat and mouse game. And
I think you're right. I think you're right. Yeah.
I think he's going to eat up the attention. Bill is going to love the attention.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree.
Well, and in the sneak peek on Sunday, there was a fraction of a moment where Molly has this wickedly Irish smile on her face and she just turns around and walks away, and Bill has this I'm intrigued look on his face. So yeah, I think that's gonna be a good one.
Mm-hmm. For sure. All right. Next couplet. Next group of people. Faith and Carson.
Holy.
Okay. So we know Faith comes back. I think it's episode 1 that we've discussed. We know that Carson is offered a brand new opportunity. We saw in one of the clips that he's telling Faith something like, we can do anything, or we can go anywhere, or something along those lines.
We can go anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
What are y'all's thoughts, predictions, hopes, and dreams for Team Infirmary?
I want a wedding. I mean, I know we're probably not going to get one because Team Infirmary is right under the triangle. And so, I mean, they're probably not going to give us a wedding at this point, but it's because there just seems to be a lot of back and forth, and they have situations of life to deal with and everything like that. But I would love to see a proposal because I'm resigned to the fact though that a wedding is probably not going to happen. But if we could get Carson to propose to Faith, because if you remember, there was a small little moment in one of the promos where she says, "Aren't you happy to see me?" And he kind of shakes himself and goes, "Oh, yes, yes." And that kind of reminds me of the Oliver and Shane kind of thing, where Oliver is contemplative. And so I'm wondering if Carson is kind of trying to come to grips with, if I don't get her now, is life going to drive us apart?
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I don't know. I would love to see a proposal.
Okay.
Yeah, I would like that too. And I think that Faith is, she's coming from Chicago, right? So big city, now back to Hope Valley. Maybe she's going to get bored a little bit, I'm also wondering if Carson's opportunity has something to do with his photography instead of something medical. Because you know what I mean? Like, he has been the photographer for the weddings, and he likes to take the selfies, of him and Faith. And so I think that would be an interesting plot line. Maybe he's saying, hey, I have this opportunity to go travel the world and take pictures. And I also wonder, Faith, she's supposed to be interning with Carson, right? Before she can become an official doctor. Does Hope Valley need 2 doctors?
I thought about that too.
So I think
thought about that too.
Interesting. Is one going to stay? One going to leave? Are they both going to stay? Is he? We'll see.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, are we going to get a proposal and then one of them leaves?
Oh, no.
I don't know if I can handle that again.
Not again.
Oh, you're not going to like my thought and prediction then.
Oh no.
This is not a hope. This is just a thought. I just want to put that out there because I love Paul Green so much. I think he's so delightful. But I kind of wonder if if Carson is going to kind of phase out and Faith is going to be the new doctor of Hope Valley. Mm-hmm. And the reason being is because I noticed while they were filming, Paul didn't seem to be on set as often as the rest of them. And of course, I don't know, maybe they did self-takes and then posted it to throw us all off. Who knows? Yeah. I've noticed that he's been really focusing a lot on his music and just different things. And people have different interests and opportunities. And there are a lot of players in Hope Valley at this time. And it's not that I want Carson to go anywhere. I love Carson. He's so great. I think he's super underrated. I think we need more stories from him for him. But just with like, we have Florence and Yost, we have Bill and Molly, we have the Canfields, we have Gowan and the petroleum and all of that. We have the triangle, we have Elizabeth's book. They're just so many.
We have Fiona.
Fiona's another one. We have the Coulters. I just kind of wonder if he's going to maybe be a traveling doctor, and he'll be like maybe a regional doctor in the area, and he'll mentor new doctors. I don't know. That is a thought. Do not take my word. This is just a thought. I hope he stays forever. Please, Paul Green, stay in Hope Valley. They need you.
I'm going to quote Rosemary right now. Bite your tongue.
Well, on that note, let's talk about Fiona.
Okay. Someone who doesn't bite her tongue.
Will Fiona find love this season?
Well, I hope so.
Oh man, they had something really great going with Kevin, but I noticed that he's not in season 8, which just makes me so sad. I mean, they really had momentum going, but you know, then again, Faith went on a date with Shane Cantrell, kissed him, and then he left, you know. So so you know, I mean, who knows? Who knows? I just don't know. But maybe, you know, maybe he's just gone for this season so that we can focus on Fiona getting her barbershop business set up.
Yeah.
So, because Casey, remember when you and I were talking about what's Fiona's new business? What's she all excited about? What sign is going up? We see now. We see now that it's a barber shop, and apparently she took a chunk of Hickam here.
Poor Hickam.
Poor Hickam. Everything happens to poor Michael Hickam. Oh gosh. Is that poor guy ever gonna get love?
You know, you gotta love Ben Rosenbaum and his comedic timing. Because
oh my,
man, he's great.
We love you.
Kristen, any thoughts on Fiona?
I think the main focus on Fiona is going to be her career. You know, trying this new venture out, and it would be nice if she got love, but yeah, Kevin's gone, so. We'll see. Yeah.
Did you like Fiona and Kevin, Kristen?
I did. Yeah. Yeah. I thought it was really sweet. Just kind of a slow burn for them, you know, thought it was sweet.
What about you, Casey?
Yeah. I mean, I thought I was hoping for a little bit more from them, just because I felt like it was built up in season 7. And then we had that one situation with them in the car, and then it just kind of fizzled. Not them, but their story kind of fizzled just because of other things going on. So I was actually really looking forward to seeing Kevin and Fiona just, I don't know, start this new bantery relationship. Maybe they'd be like fun and jokes and all of that. So I'm a little disappointed that he's not back this season that we know of. But I do think it's good for Fiona to focus on the career, since that's where we last saw her. She was mourning her job at the phone company, and she was like kind of wondering her purpose and stuff. So I think for Fiona, being a young woman in the late 1910s, I think this is going to be a good storyline for her.
Now here's a question. When we left Hope Valley, Florence was taking over and Molly was getting a job as another telephone operator. I don't see either of them being able to install telephones, at least at this point. Yeah. So I'm wondering if they are going to call on Fiona, pun intended, but I'm wondering if they're going to call on Fiona to help them every once in a while if a new telephone gets installed, because at this point in their skill level, there is no way that they could install a telephone.
I think Florence could do it. I think Florence can do it because she and Fiona had this really, really super tight-knit relationship, and Fiona really taught her everything.
Okay.
Now, I don't think that Florence could explain it or teach Molly to do it because they're too much. It's like two good friends. One's trying to teach the other, and then the other one's goofing off.
Yes.
And like, I feel like Molly would be like, "Oh, what is this?" And Florence would be like, "Stop it! I can't get anywhere with you."
They would get sidetracked. They would start gossiping, and she'd be like, "Oh, I totally forgot to teach you how to do this."
Yeah, or that too.
Yes.
Oh, that would bring a lot of comic relief though.
Yeah.
Either way, I mean, them constantly calling Fiona's in the middle of like giving Hickam a haircut, and
that's why she took a chunk out of Hickam's ear, because the telephone rings in the barber shop and it distracts her.
Boom.
There you go.
Too fun. All right. Next grouping. Jessie and Clara. Now, I have to say, I know this is Hallmark. It's the channel of romance and happily ever afters. However, I am actually kind of glad that the writers are causing some marital woes for Jessie and Clara, because the three of us are married. I don't know about you guys, but the first year of marriage was rough. Just because you're trying to adjust to living with a different person, and it's a whole different ball gown.
It's a whole different ball gown too.
Well, yeah, that too. It's a whole different ball game when you're just dating and then you go to your separate areas, living quarters, whatever. But then combining lives and combining traditions and combining like just tiny little things can be really harrowing at times. So I'm actually glad that this is happening. Brings a little realism. And it provides Rosemary and Lee to be that wise, sage, older couple, mentor, older brother, sister relationship for Jessie and Clara. So I'm actually excited for their issues.
That's terrible.
I know, but for the drama, it's great.
Oh yeah.
Kristen, what about you?
My prediction is that it might be money problems. I'm thinking that Jessie is going to want a motorcycle like Lee, and he's going to try to convince Clara that they can afford it. And I'm predicting that Rosemary and Lee are going to come in. They're going to try to help them. And, the bicycle we've been seeing in some of the promos, the little tandem bike, I think that that's going to be like the compromise. Rosemary and Lee are going to buy the bicycle for them or something and say, here, just practice on this first, get this going first, and then we'll discuss, motorcycle or whatever.
Well, and the tandem bike can be a metaphor for Jessie and Clara as well.
Yes. A good one too, working together.
So my theory with Jessie and Clara is that he's getting a little bit wild, and that he's, he was really in love with Clara. He thought he was ready to settle down, and then, maybe he feels too restricted. He feels too confined. And I'm wondering if Lee loans him his motorcycle to let off some steam. But yeah, I'm wondering if they're fighting because he's feeling too restricted and she feels that he's not being cooperative enough, because I think we've all had that feeling, And so that's my thought.
Ooh, those are some good thoughts. Yeah, I don't know. I wonder if the motorcycle has something to do with these issues. Well, episode 5, according to Google, which may or may not be correct, says Clara learns Jessie made a big mistake. And then episode 6 is Clara and Jessie sort through their issues. So I wonder if it's something that he spent money on. Like maybe he bought a new piece of land and they didn't have the money for it. Or maybe he bought into Gowan's oil rig.
Oh, yeah.
Or maybe, because, you know, that land was really like, Jessie got really upset when Gowan kind of undercut him.
Yeah.
And tried to sue him and everything, which, by the way, that was hysterical. But like the scene with Jessie trying to be all like,
I'm going to sue you. I'm taking you to court. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's too funny. But yeah, I kind of wonder if that's a thing. Money.
I mean, and one big mistake can bring about the memory of a lot of little things that have been hovering underneath the surface that are all of a sudden going to explode out. So that's,
Hearties, let us know. What do you think Jessie's big mistake is?
I'm afraid to ask. You know, I really am. I mean, it's Hallmark. It's not going to be anything horribly scandalous,
right? But
still, yeah.
Especially because Jessie has come so far too.
I know. I mean, is he gonna revert? He can't revert. No. That would be bad.
Yeah, Lee would take him and send him to his corner. Leland Coulter would not be happy with Jessie, his little brother.
No. And I love that scene when Lee and Jessie are walking and Lee puts his hands on Jessie's much taller shoulders. And he says, just remember how you felt when she walked down that aisle. I went, oh, Lee, you're good. You know?
Yes.
So, yeah.
All right. Next person, Mr. Henry Gowan.
Oh, boy.
And in Sunday night's preview, we saw him and newcomer, and we assume this is Christopher, hugging with very different face of Gowan.
Yeah. Emotional. Very emotional and hugging with fervor. Gowan doesn't hug, much less with fervor.
Yeah. What is their relationship? And I put this out on the Instagrams.
Yeah, you did.
And a lot of people are saying son or nephew, long lost son or nephew.
That's my thoughts too.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm wondering, you know, last season, Lee has this long lost sister that we didn't know about. Are they going to do the same thing with Gowan? You know, like would they repeat a storyline like that? But it is obvious that they know each other, you know, and that they're probably going to be family. So
I would not say son personally. I do not say son. What about a little brother?
Ooh. I wouldn't even think about that. Wow.
Because remember he was telling Abigail when he was in jail that he was a sharecropper's kid and he had a dirt hut or something like that with it. But it never mentioned, at least to my recollection, it never mentioned the number of siblings or where he was in the lineup. What if it's his little brother?
I like that.
Oh, I do like that.
I like that.
And that would make sense for the hug. Because if it were me and I was reconnecting with my long lost dad, I don't know that I would hug him like that. Right. Unless that was at the very, very end of the season and they like make amends and then it's like all happy, you know, happily ever after.
Yeah.
But sibling, that's a good thought. That is a good thought. So because we're going to take a bridge. The next group are the Coulter clan, and we can call them the Coulter clan. We also see a little sneak peek of the niece. We don't know her name.
Right.
Leah and Rosemary's niece looking through the window, and she makes eyes with Christopher.
Well, what do you say, sweetheart?
And Lee's niece does not have a name. Right?
No,
we don't.
Niece does not have a name currently.
Yeah. Okay. So we know that nephew is oh my god, he's
Patrick.
named after Patrick. Yes, thank you. But we don't know what the niece's name is. All right, let's first talk about Lee's sister and niece coming into town. Thoughts about that?
I want to know where Patrick is.
Okay, so we know that Patrick's in his first year of college, and the niece is finishing up her high school years. She's finishing up high school.
Yeah.
So I wonder if maybe Patrick is at home with dad. Maybe either he's working with dad at their furniture store and couldn't get away, or maybe he's still in school. I was about to say maybe school isn't out yet, but it just it seems like a crying shame, especially since Patrick is named after Susanna and Lee's brother.
Yeah.
You know, the deceased brother. That would have been, because that was one of the sweetest moments for season 7 when Susanna just casually reminds me of my son Patrick, and Lee just goes, "You named your son Patrick." You know, it just it was a very touching moment, and so I wonder, darn, why couldn't Patrick have come along too? But I mean, we only know the first 6 episodes. Right. Yeah, I mean, he could very well appear. Watch him appear in the season finale, you know?
Maybe the other family, the Toms, right? That's her last name? Yeah. Susanna Tom. Yeah. Maybe the rest of the Toms come and fetch the niece. Like maybe Susanna and niece come. Susanna has to go back home. Niece is like, "This place is magical, Mom. I need to stay here with Aunt Rosie and Uncle Lee, and they're awesome." Oh, yeah. And the Coulters are like, "Yeah, no problem." And Rosemary's eating it up. Niece is like a whole different like story there. And they're like, "What is going on with this chick here?" And then, you know, sometime towards the end of the season, Susanna, husband Patrick come to Hope Valley officially, and then they fetch the niece. They have a nice little happy dinner. Yeah. And then they are sent back off on the train to Bellevue.
Or does niece see Uncle Lee and Aunt Rosemary as chumps, easy targets? You know, is she conniving? And say, "Oh, yes, Mother, I'll stay here," and then makes life miserable for them later after Mom's gone.
She'll be Hope Valley's version of Nellie Olson, maybe.
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
We need a new troublemaker, right?
Yeah, you know, it would be a comic relief. And Pascal did say that the Coulters are best when there's chaos.
Oh yeah.
So,
and she also said that new characters come in to challenge the existing characters. So challenge could be taken very literally. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Any other thoughts about the niece?
I want to see what she's up to.
Yeah. Yeah. It will be interesting because they do paint her as really sweet. like wide-eyed, because she's talking to Lee and she's like, it's like a fairy tale or something like that.
I think she says it's something out of the Wild West. I think that's what she says.
Oh, is that what she said?
Yeah. Okay. So maybe she's going to have
City
like
girl.
she's going to be like Julie, you know, coming in like, ooh, it's like all the books that I've read, you know.
Oh gosh, please no. Not another Julie. Not another Julie. Please.
Okay, but can you imagine Julie 2.0, but with Rosemary and Lee, and Niece gets herself kidnapped in the woods?
Oh gosh, no more Tolliver King.
Or maybe we get our Billy Hamilton 2.0 with the niece, and maybe that's why
with the Christopher character.
I don't know. Maybe.
Yes. There you go.
Oh man,
turning it up the spice here.
Yeah, we are really.
All right.
Okay.
Next topic.
Yeah, we need to move on.
Next topic. Will the Coulters have a child? And if they do, will they adopt or will they conceive?
I think this is the other like team going on, you know, team adoption or team pregnancy for, you know.
Yeah, because there's no team for the Coulters to not have a child. There's no team Coulter, no baby. No, there's nothing like that.
Yeah. I don't know. Personally, I think I want to see Rosemary pregnant. I think that could be really funny, you know?
So funny.
Yes. So walking around with her big belly and designing maternity dresses. That'd be kind of cool.
Perfection right there. Yes, because she works in the dress shop.
Lee waiting on her with her swollen ankles. You know?
Yes.
If Rosemary were to get pregnant, I think it'd be funny towards the end that Lee and Rosemary's characters flip. So Rosemary's the one that's like, she has her crazy moments, but then at the end when she's like 8 months pregnant, she's like, I got this. We're good. No big deal. Whatever. I can still work. And Lee's like, no. You have to do this and da-da-da. And he's like, sweetheart, you can't go up the stairs. You must sit down here and you have to eat. It's every 3 hours, honey. And he's the one that gets all spastic and crazy. And Rosemary is the one that's like, I got this.
I don't think Rosemary is ever going to have an attitude of I got this. Well, no. Strike that. It's not going to be a relaxed I got this. It is I got this. You here. Let's go. Just like with Elizabeth's wedding dress, you know.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. Casey, I still love your theory of they adopt and they go through the process and they've almost got the child and then they get the child and then she finds out she's pregnant or so. I think that would be hysterical. You know,
yes, that is I'm putting it out there to the one calls the Heart universe, Brian Bird, please.
Because it's the best of both worlds.
It is.
Yeah.
It would be so, and because Pascal said the more the merrier, right? So I think it'd be even more awesome if they adopted like a sibling set and they found out they were pregnant. Because I actually know somebody in real life who they were not able to have kids. They adopted 3 and then found out
siblings?
She was, 3 children, yes.
Oh, they adopted 3 children.
Yes, three children.
Okay. Got it.
And she found out she was pregnant. I was like, whoa.
That's a lot to take on.
But Lee wants 5 kids. We all know that.
Yeah. 5 wee ones. 5 children. 5 children.
Yeah. So, and a new preview came out. I think it was the Sunday. Well, was it the Sunday night preview, or maybe it was an extra preview that has come out? There's been so many of them since the beginning of the year.
Which scene are you thinking?
Well, Pascal has a scene where she says that something that she and Kevin have been pitching for the last couple of years,
right,
is coming to fruition.
Right.
So we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
If it came from the minds of Hope Valley's Ricky and Lucy, it's going to be fantastic.
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
All right, Hearties. Wow, we have talked
This is a lot.
a lot about this show, and we're not done yet, but we're going to pause it right here. So come back tomorrow, and we will continue with our hopes, dreams, and predictions of When Calls Heart Season 8. We'll talk to y'all both tomorrow. Bye.
Bye.